Captain, incoming message.
Hello everybody, this is SHAREfactory, and I'm here to teach you how to gather so many parts in the game Last of Us. It'll help your clan, it'll help you exceed a population that you probably haven't hit yet if you haven't really tried this method. It's worked for me. I've always liked to play supply raid, and I have a friend, Synth Child, who's got me turned on to the survivors mode, and I'm very thankful for it because it's helped me gather lots and lots of parts, and for that reason alone it's helped me to, you know, get better at the game also in the different modes I have, because I strictly just played supply raid. But survivors is definitely the mode you want to play if you want to get like a large population, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so first off, we're gonna gear up. We're gonna set a custom loadout to what would work best with the survivors mode in order for us to garner so many points. And this is what we're gonna do. So basically, you have your small firearm. I don't use any points on like the better firearms, which are Enforcer, Burst, or Shorty, which are good weapons. But you, in this particular loadout, you want to save as many as you can. So I like the revolver. You know, it's a very effective weapon, especially if it's upgraded, so I would stick with that. Now for me, I use the burst rifle. It's my favorite gun to use in the game. Other people tend to, you know, use like the tactical or even like the frontier, which is also a good weapon. You also have the variable, which is good. The burst is my favorite though, I would say. So this is just my recommendation, especially if you're new to the game or you haven't played it much. Burst rifle is a gun to use if you want to, like, you know, get a lot of downs, especially for mid to close range kills or downs. Definitely the burst. So now the most important loadout points are for your gifting. So you want to go crafter 3, and when you do this, every 2 items you gather in a lockbox gives you the option to gift. So when you craft 2 items, you're able to gift with crafter 3. So this is very important. You want to use crafter 3. Also, the other key, and this is the secret here, is Lucky Break 3, because when you use Lucky Break 3, you get 50% more ammo in the actual lockbox, and you get a minimum of 3 crafting ingredients. So even if your team's doing really well, and say you're like up 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 in the round capacity, you're still able to get 3 crafting ingredients, which is huge, because it allows you to gather and gift more and more. And that's the secret, really, is Lucky Break 3 and Crafter 3 together. And you know, this is optional, but I use Marathon Runner 1, and to me, I'll tell you why it's very efficient. Because when you use Marathon Runner 1 and you're using it in the survivor mode, you're able to sprint a lot faster than you would if you don't have this perk, and it allows you to get to the boxes a lot quicker, you see? So the more boxes you hit, the more gifts you give. And it's ridiculous the amount of parts you can gather if you just focus on gifting. I'm telling you this right now. I've had games with people that don't know me, and they see how I, you know, gather so many parts. At the end of the game, sometimes I had like 7,500 parts with like no downs or no executions. It's crazy, and I had to really customize my own class and see what worked best for me. I came up with this class, and I'm telling you, it is the way to go. So this is my tutorial video for you. I hope this is something that will help you get better at Last of Us. It'll help you gather a larger population. Hello everybody, this is SHAREfactory, and I'm here to give you the last part of my tutorial on how to gather the most parts in The Last of Us. Now, from my experience, as I mentioned in the previous 2 videos, I did a lot of supply raid for the most part in the, you know, the time spent playing the game. But now I've switched over to survivors, and it's definitely a much better way to gather parts. Now, my class, as I mentioned in the last part of the video, was that I would use Lucky Break 3, Crafter 3, and also Marathon Runner 1. Now, this will help you garner the most. As you see, every time I hit a box, I'm collecting, you know, at least 2 or 3 items, and it helps me gift. And at that point, I'm able to hand out like multiple gifts during the match. And it does not even matter if you're low on downs or executions. In fact, you don't even really need to focus on that. To be honest, all you really need to focus on is gathering ingredients and making gifts and just handing them out. Now, other people have other perks they like to use to gather parts, like healing, I don't really bother because the healing perks take a lot of perk points, so I don't bother. I normally, as I said, Lucky Break 3, Crafter 3, Marathon Runner. If you use Marathon Runner, it gives you the ability to run to boxes as well, so it makes it so much easier when you're trying to, like, gather parts for, gifts and whatever. But like, even after this game is finished, you'll notice that I have just a ridiculous amount of parts, and it's such an easy way to gather parts. It also helped me unlock some achievements, because there are a couple achievements where you have to, like, finish the 12-week missions with so many population members, and I ended up, like, accomplishing those I guess unlocks once I had started using survivors. And it just helps with your population, as mentioned. It allows you to gather a large amount of members. See, I'm already crafting, like, 2 items there. That's after 2 boxes. So right now I'm going to hit this other box, and you'll notice that even if you're winning, because they won't give you as many if you're winning, because they tend to give you more parts if you're losing. So now I've crafted another gift. So I'm going to give that to this guy, which is a Molotov. But already I'm gathering so many parts just by gifting. And, it's just the easiest way to gather a strong population. And it's helpful, and I hope that at one point whoever sees this video will decide it's good and try the method that I've used, because it was suggested to me from a friend to do the survivors. I just never really took it serious. I didn't think I'd like it, but I have grown to like survivors very much so. And even though I've already lost in the 2 rounds that we've played, my team is doing well. As you can see, we've already won 1, but now we're tied at this point. But even with the amount of time spent running around and getting killed, and even if, as I mentioned, if you don't get downs or executions, you're gifting, you're constantly gifting, it's just going to make your population that much stronger, which is what the end goal really is. You want a strong population, and, survivors is the way to go if that's what you're looking for. So I hope that at one point this becomes helpful to whoever sees the video. Okay, so now we're almost at the end of the round. And as you've noticed, I've shown you, like, how I've gathered parts and gifted throughout the match, which has been extremely helpful. We won the game. Now you see, I had 0 downs and 0 executions, but I had 6,700 parts. So this will be helpful to anyone who wants to try this method, and I hope you enjoyed the video.